Everybody, it's the Jaguar. How's everybody doing? And yeah, aircraft carriers have been refined. So in this video, I'm going to go check out a couple of my favorite aircraft carriers and check out the regeneration rate of the aircraft carrier aircraft. And then I'm going to go through a replay. I'm not really going to narrate the replay, but I'm basically going to talk about what I think the new update and the changes to the carriers mean to the game. So let's get in there and well, I think I'm going to check out the Lexington and the Graf Zeppelin. Maybe those are two good ones to start with. All right, so I'm here on the Lexington. Let's go check out the aircraft regeneration rate. And in the past, the aircraft regeneration rate was always right around a minute or so. So here, aircraft restoration time is 19 seconds. That will, and 22 seconds for the bombers. So that will get you your aircraft pretty darn quick, 3 times quicker. So let's go over to the Graf Zeppelin, like I said. And this is really the big thing, 24 seconds and 20 seconds here for the Graf Zeppelin. And hey, let's go check out the Ark Royal, everybody's favorite. People really were belly aching about the Ark Royal for a while. And 24 seconds for the dive bombers and the torpedo bombers. Restoration time is 17 seconds. So yeah, the detection times that were changed is sort of irrelevant now because you have the fuel gauge that limits literally how far you can travel, so there is no spotting. So detection range, yeah, you're not really going to hover over destroyers and spot them for the rest of the team anymore. So with that, let's go into the gameplay and check it out, and I will give you some of my thoughts because spoiler alert, a couple matches that I played, I had fun. That's the important thing. Yeah, so I hate to say it, but I had fun, and I know what a lot of people want to hear is, oh, this is wrecking the game. Oh, Wargaming has wrecked the game by buffing the carriers the way that they have. And a lot of people, you know, over the last several years, a lot of people just want to play shootie boats. They don't even want to be in a match with an aircraft carrier. And aircraft carriers are in the game. They're here to stay. Obviously, Wargaming is creating the game to make money and generate players, so apparently they must have done their due diligence and realized that when you factor in the people that don't want to play because of the aircraft carriers versus the people that want to play the game with the aircraft carriers, it appears that they're doing better with the aircraft carriers in the game. Otherwise, you know, money talks. Aircraft carriers would not be in the game if it wasn't something that the general public wants, is the way I'm looking at it. I don't see any reason why, now that's a good shot right there, but I don't see any reason why aircraft carriers would be in the game in spite of all of the belly aching that you've heard over the years. It's like a constant drone of people who just hate aircraft carriers, and yeah, I don't know. I started the channel when aircraft carriers were first introduced in the game. I always liked the aircraft carriers until they nerfed the heck out of them, and then I basically stopped playing them. I don't know that I'm going to play them anymore now that they've been fixed like this. And by the way, some people have gotten scores in excess of 5,000 XP with 400,000 damage or something crazy like that. So I think it's reasonable to expect some kind of a nerf from these settings. You know, it's not going to be like this long term, I don't think. Worst case scenario, I'm going to figure, and I really don't know, I'm going to figure that these settings will stay like they are for the entire upgrade update. That's really the worst case scenario, I think. But if things are really out of control, they generally do react fairly quick to tone things down a little bit. But, you know, they're dealing with probably hundreds of thousands of players, not one or two guys that don't like to do aircraft carriers and would really prefer to do shootie boats. And yeah, I have been working on aircraft carrier videos where, you know, you take off and you're trying to get a good replay video, and after the game, person on the other team would, I got one message from a guy, I presume it's a guy, and they said they had a hard day at work, they just want to come home and do some shootie boats where they just want to plink, plink, plink with their battleship against the other battleships, and they are just absolutely infuriated that this aircraft carrier player was trying to do whatever they're trying to do to, you know, sink a ship, which is exactly what every other ship in the game is trying to do. So in some ways, it's just crazy. Everyone has a different opinion about it. I'd probably be a lot more popular if I went along with the I hate aircraft carriers and what happened here. But bottom line, like I said, I had fun in the 3 or 4 matches that I played, and I think that the regeneration rate of 17 seconds, in some cases 20 seconds, it seems to be about the average from the 3 aircraft carriers I looked at for their aircraft regeneration rate. It seems like, yeah, it's going to be very hard to deplane somebody, and I came close on a couple of my matches where I didn't really have a full complement of aircraft on a couple of my launches, but for the most part, you do have more aircraft than you would really expect. So, is this an absolute simulator? No, because everybody knows that aircraft carriers have X number of aircraft. I think World War II aircraft carriers probably had like 50 or so aircraft in their complement, or probably even less. And so once those aircraft were shot down or whatever, like in the Battle of Midway, a lot of those aircraft carriers, the American aircraft carriers that took out a lot of those 4 Japanese carriers, a lot of the dive bombers got lost on the first runs. And yeah, if this were a real simulation, you'd run out of your 40 or 50 aircraft, and your aircraft carrier wouldn't do anything for the rest of the game. Makes for a bad gameplay experience, and apparently, obviously, a decision was made to keep the aircraft carrier stocked with aircraft so you can play throughout the game. In the past, when I've played aircraft carriers, you do a lot of work as an aircraft carrier player, and you don't necessarily get really great results, as far as I could tell. In the past, there are a lot of aircraft carrier players that nowadays you see a lot of aircraft carrier players up at the top of the leaderboard. And so, yeah, now there are a lot of great aircraft carrier players, or there was before this update. I assume that those guys would probably get even better. You probably get more people playing aircraft carriers now. And yeah, bottom line was, so I was asked after my update aftermath video what I thought about the aircraft carrier stats and whatnot. Well, you're not going to be spotting for your team to spot the enemy destroyers if there's not another ship spotting an opposing destroyer. When your aircraft get close enough to the opposing destroyer, he'll pop up, but your aiming reticle is not going to be in a good position to take out that destroyer, is what I have seen in a couple matches where that was the case for me. So, yeah, I like the changes. That's the bottom line. The game is being put in this kind of a mode with these updates to keep the massive player base happy and to generate more interest in the game. And if a couple people don't like the way that it is, you don't have to play the game. Just like anything else. If something upsets you, you don't have to play. And or you don't have to do whatever it is that upsets you. And that is no different here. So yeah, this is a great game. The aircraft carriers are just a component. And that's my take on the changes that happened in this update with the massive carrier changes starting in the June update of 2024. As always, let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.
We destroyed an enemy battleship.